Welcome! It's Tina Konstant here, and you're at WAFFLE-FREE Storytelling. It's been another wild week. But we're putting all the waffle at the end, which means we're jumping right into this week's story, and it's called How Monsters Came to Be. Alright, here we go. Now, the dawn of time is when all dark things in the world were born. Mainly because madness comes out of chaos. And in the beginning, thanks to the size and scale of creation, there was only chaos. Part of the reason for that chaos were the many hands and minds it took to build the world, which meant, therefore, there were endless disagreements on how to proceed, where some of the gods wanted to go in one direction, others had other ideas. There was one god who got so tired of the bickering and the indecision and the compromise that he took himself into the shadows, deep into the earth, where he couldn't hear the inane chatter from those who felt their ideas were the best, or the most logical, or the most worthy. This god in the shadows kept himself busy doing his own thing, but every now and then he went to the surface to see how the others were getting on. For a long time there was nothing that interested him, until he came across a workshop where the other gods were creating strange little creatures that they called human. These little beings were astounding, and the god of the shadows, he couldn't deny it, was intrigued. This, he thought, was where he could put his stamp on creation. So while the other gods slept, the god of the shadows crept into the workshop, and he planted 2 seeds in every human the gods had created, and there were thousands. One of the seeds was curiosity, the other was secrecy. The next day, the god of the shadows pretended to make his apologies for leaving the work to the others, and he rejoined the rest of the gods. What he wanted, after all, was the best seats in the house to see what his seeds would do. Now, for a long time, the gods tweaked and perfected their new creations, but finally, as dawn rose on another perfect day, they decided to breathe life into the humans. All the gods watched. They had planned and had strategized. They had run scenarios and potential outcomes, and they all felt that the humans were ready to join the world. There was no doubt that there was some concern in the air. One of the reasons for the delay was the debate over free will. In the end, it had been agreed that the humans should have it, which meant, of course, that no matter how much planning the gods had done, the outcome was still uncertain. But still they were excited. They were sure that they had created something wonderful. The god of the shadows said nothing. He sipped nectar and watched, as with great ceremony life was breathed into the masses and masses and thousands, verging on millions of humans. When the little beings opened their eyes, they looked around them. They stared at the gods. They sniffed the air. Oh, it was a triumph! The gods were delighted! These little creatures were superb! Such detail, such perfection! It was only the god of the shadows who smiled when these humans looked beyond the workshop, got curious to see what was outside, and ran. The gods were confused. This was not part of any scenario. This was unexpected. Even free will didn't account for this mass exodus. Using all of their powers, the gods gathered the thousands and thousands of human beings together and demanded to know what caused them to look beyond the workshop. But by then, the seed of secrecy had bloomed, and the humans would say nothing. Well, the gods realized that there was a flaw in their design, and so, to give them time to work out how to fix it, they put all of the humans into a dark cave and sealed it shut. Of course, the humans were confused. They searched every inch of that cave for a way out, but they found none. Instead, they huddled together and they waited to be saved. Two of the humans, however, did not sit and wait. Perhaps their seeds of curiosity had found more fertile ground. We won't ever know. These two humans kept searching the cave. They scouted and dug and explored until they found the lair of the god of shadows. The god was delighted and welcomed them to his fireside, and over the days and weeks and months the three talked and ate and laughed and enjoyed each other's company. But the god of the shadows knew that their time was almost up. Soon the gods in the light would open the cave. This is when one of the humans had an idea. "Give us one more seed," he said, "and we will put on a show that you'll enjoy for 1,000 billion millennia." Ha ha ha! The god of the shadows agreed. And with this third seed, the two humans went back to the rest of humanity, huddled in the cave. When they got there, they stood high above the crowd, and they said, "We have searched the underworld! We have found a way out!" Well, the crowd cheered and immediately hailed these two humans as heroes and leaders. And so the pair said, "To get out of this place and into the next, you must do one thing. You must eat each other, devour each other. That way, each one will carry the other out of the cave and into the light." The god of the shadows was amused, but a little confused. The words from his favorite humans didn't make sense. There was no logic in them, and certainly no truth. But despite that, a remarkable thing happened. The crowd, without asking a single question, turned on their neighbors and bit. In a moment, there was chaos. Every human fought to devour and be devoured. Every human lay themselves down to be chewed on and spat out. And by the end, the only humans left were the man and the woman who sat high on the ledge and watched, with the god of the shadows at their side. Well, the noise and the screams, and then the sudden silence drew the attention of the gods up top, who unsealed the cave and came in to find only two humans remaining. The god of the shadows hid and watched. He watched as the two humans told the gods how water had rushed through the cave and swept the crowd away, dissolving them as it would any mud and clay. And because the gods imagined that they had created pure innocence, they believed the story and let the two remaining humans out into the world. The man stepped into the light. The woman stepped into the light. They smiled and they obeyed. They performed and they worshipped the gods. And with the seed of curiosity in their bellies, the seed of secrecy in their hearts, and the third seed, the seed of deceit in their minds. They multiplied. And that is how monsters came to be. Crazy. Hey, listen, my goodness, what a week. That's it from Waffle-Free Stories for today. I'm gonna get myself a very frothy cappuccino. I think that is next on the list. So I hope your week has been splendid. I hope your next week is glorious. And go and hug everybody you love and ask questions. I don't know. Hey, be in the world with open eyes and an open heart. All right. Have a good one, you spectacular human being, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, go to www.tinakonstant.com for all sorts of things that are going on there. And that's it. See you later. Bye-bye now.